The Empress Celestine IV had ruled the Andromeda Collective for 3,000 cycles, her word law across 47 star systems. Her crystalline form refracted light in ways that could blind lesser species, and her telepathic presence could crush minds like paper in a fist. Protocol dictated that all who entered her throne world must prostrate themselves at the atmospheric barrier, transmit their credentials through 7 layers of bureaucracy, and wait, sometimes for years, for an audience that might last mere seconds. No one spoke to the Queen unless spoken to first. No one approached without permission. No one dared. Maya Rodriguez hadn't received that particular memo. The 12-year-old human child walked through the grand corridor of the Imperial Station with a battered toolbox in one hand and a paper lunch bag in the other. Her father, Miguel Rodriguez, was the station's third-shift sanitation engineer, a fancy title for janitor, and Maya often accompanied him during school breaks. She knew every ventilation shaft, every maintenance tunnel, every forgotten corner of the massive structure that orbited the Empress's throne world. Today, she'd taken a wrong turn. The doors before her were solid platinum infused with starlight, easily 50 feet tall. They should have been locked, guarded, impossible to approach. But the station's AI had been acting oddly all morning. Miguel had mentioned it during breakfast, and apparently, security protocols were experiencing minor glitches. Maya pushed the door. It opened. The throne room stretched before her like a cathedral carved from frozen music. The Empress sat upon a dais of compressed neutron matter, surrounded by her court. Beings of pure energy, silicon-based aristocrats, and representatives from species whose names humans couldn't pronounce. All of them were frozen mid-gesture, their attention locked on some diplomatic crisis Maya couldn't begin to understand. The temperature in the room dropped 30 degrees as every eye turned toward the intruder. What meaning does this interruption hold? The Empress's voice wasn't sound but pressure, a wave of force that made Maya's bones vibrate. The child stumbled but didn't fall. The courtiers hissed and crackled with outrage. A Vraxian ambassador's tentacles coiled in horror. The High Chancellor of Protocol actually fainted, his gaseous form dissipating in shock. Maya swallowed hard. Her father had taught her manners, even if he'd never imagined she'd need them here. She set down the toolbox and stepped forward, her sneakers squeaking on the polished floor. Sorry for interrupting, Your Majesty," Maya said, her voice small but steady. "I got lost looking for my dad. He's the janitor, sanitation engineer on level 47. Impossible. None may approach." "But I did approach," Maya interrupted, then winced at her own audacity. "Sorry, but since I'm here already." She held up the paper bag. "You look really stressed, and my abuela always says that when someone's having a hard day, food helps. I have an extra sandwich if you want it." The silence that followed could have suffocated stars. The Empress Celestine IV, who had commanded fleets, who had negotiated the Treaty of Seven Suns, who had stared down the Void Collective and made them blink first, stared at the small human child offering her half a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. "You offer me sustenance." The Empress's telepathic voice had softened to something almost resembling curiosity. "Well, yeah. You've been dealing with all these people." Maya gestured at the horrified courtiers. "And they all look super serious and upset. That's gotta be exhausting, right? Sometimes you just need to eat something and take a break." A ripple passed through the Empress's crystalline form, something that might have been laughter in a being that had forgotten how. "Child, do you comprehend the enormity of your transgression? Entire civilizations have been sterilized for lesser offenses." Maya considered this. That seems really mean, though. They probably didn't deserve it. They dared? Yeah, but daring just means being brave, right? My dad says being brave is good. He says humans got to space because we were brave enough to try, even when everyone said we were too small and too young and too weird. The Empress leaned forward, her attention now fully focused on this impossible creature. "You do not fear me." "Oh, I'm totally scared," Maya admitted. "My heart's beating super fast. But my dad also says being brave doesn't mean not being scared. It means doing the right thing even when you're scared. And the right thing seemed like making sure you're okay." For 3,000 cycles, the Empress had ruled through fear and power. Delegations approached with weapons and shields, with leverage and threats, with elaborate schemes and political maneuvering. Not once had anyone simply asked if she was okay. The crystalline monarch extended one radiant appendage, Maya, not entirely sure what else to do, placed the sandwich in it. The court watched in absolute horror as their empress, the terror of the galactic arm, the immortal sovereign, carefully unwrapped the paper towel and examined the simple food item. She processed its molecular structure, analyzed its nutritional content, and then did something that caused 3 ambassadors to flee the room in panic. She ate it. "It is adequate," the Empress declared, though something in her psychic emanation suggested it might be more than that. "Maya Rodriguez, daughter of Miguel Rodriguez, sanitation engineer. You have committed a breach of protocol that would normally result in planetary consequences." Maya nodded, bracing herself. "However, you have also demonstrated something I have not witnessed in millennia. Genuine concern without agenda. You saw not a monarch to be feared or manipulated, but merely a being under stress." The Empress rose from her throne. "Tell me, child, what is it that your species wants?" Maya thought about it. My dad wants his pension to vest so he can retire someday. I want to get better at math so I can be an engineer. Most humans just want to do their jobs, take care of their families, and maybe see cool stuff. Is that okay?" The Empress's laughter, actual laughter this time, rang through the throne room like chiming bells. "Humanity. You conquer nothing, yet you are everywhere. You demand nothing, yet you receive everything. You fear me, yet you offer me lunch." She turned to her stunned court. "Let it be known, the human species is granted favored status within the collective. Any who harm them answer to me personally." "Really?" Maya's eyes widened. Wow, thank you. Can I tell my dad?" "You may. But first," the Empress conjured a shimmering badge from pure light. "You shall carry this. It designates you as a friend of the crown. None shall bar your way." Maya accepted the badge with appropriate awe, then paused. "Does this mean I can come visit sometimes? You seem lonely." The Queen of Galaxies, who had forgotten loneliness 3,000 cycles ago, discovered she had no response to that. "Yes," she finally said. "Yes, you may." As Maya left to find her father, leaving a court in absolute chaos and an Empress with the faintest hint of a smile, the High Chancellor regained consciousness long enough to whisper, "What just happened?" "Humanity happened," the Vraxian ambassador replied, his tentacles still trembling, "as it always does." And in the maintenance corridors of Level 47, Miguel Rodriguez was about to have the most interesting parent-teacher conference of his life, explaining to his daughter why diplomatic incidents were generally frowned upon, even when they ended well. The sandwich wrapper, carefully preserved by the Empress, would eventually be displayed in the Imperial Museum under a simple plaque. "The day the universe changed. A gift from Earth."